Hello, my name is Matt Harris, and this is my vlog. Up to this point, I've talked to you about topics that are related to educational technology in general from a kind of removed perspective. This time I thought I'd get a little more personal and talk about things that matter to me. So I'm titling this particular vlog post as My Greatest Accomplishment. Now, as an educational technology leader, as somebody that has worked in schools in various places and worked with a lot of people, I've seen a lot of successful educational technologists, a lot of successful teachers who integrate technology, a lot of successful leaders out there. And one of the things that has been kicking around in my head recently because of events related to my life is what has been my greatest accomplishment as an educational technology leader. So in my career, I've done a lot of things related to educational technology. I've taught at every level, from preschool to graduate school. I've taught mathematics, I've been an ICT teacher, I've been an integrator. I've worked with multiple curricula. I have had access to schools all over the world where I have learned and helped them grow. I've been a part of EdD. I have written educational technology curriculum and ICT curriculum that has been used in schools all over the world. I've written papers, I've given presentations. I completed a dissertation for my educational doctorate in educational leadership, where I looked at student learning outcomes for one-to-one student laptop programs that has applicability to schools all over the world. I have created design plans for IT infrastructure in schools. I have revolutionized the way that we collaborate in my existing schools. And while this all sounds very egotistical, it's an important frame to understand. I'm not trying to give you my CV, I'm not applying for a job, I'm not even trying to get more viewers for this. What I'd like you to understand is while I've done a lot of things that I'm very, very proud of, the thing that I am most proud of are the teams that I have created in my jobs. The people that you work with, as one of my mentors has said, is the most important element of your job. Many of us could do anything. We can be teachers or doctors or engineers. We could work in the central office. We could work as a principal. It's just a matter of hard work, time, and effort. But what matters most is the people that you work with. From a leadership perspective, it goes beyond that. It becomes more of the people that are working with you, and are they working towards a common goal? There's a lot of talk about, do I have the right people on the bus? I'm more concerned with, are those right people going in the right direction? And what I have found that has been most impactful for the schools that I've worked in, or the organizations I've worked in, is creating those teams. Creating a culture where they do understand why we're doing what we're doing. So I can impart knowledge, or I can gain knowledge, or I can bring in professional development experts to help teachers all over the place. But it is those groups of people that I work with. It is connecting those people who have specified skills and going forward. In one of my most recent schools, I was in charge of the IT department, the EdTech department, the libraries, and a bunch of other little programs all over the place. And what I'm most proud of with that team is that they understood that our job was to be an educational unit, teaching teachers, teaching students, teaching parents. We were also supposed to be a service unit, ensuring that the business of the school could go forward and that we were the growth and visionary elements of the school. We had a very culturally diverse set of people, and those people were able to work together to create vision and to take that vision and create programs that had direct and long-lasting impact on the school. We didn't start with technology, we didn't start with the library, we started with creating a common vision, a common strategy. And I think that's the takeaway here, is that when you're thinking about impacting your schools with educational technology or media literacy or what have you, the question you have to ask is, does everybody understand where we're going? Is everybody working together towards that shared vision? And if the answer is not true, then you have a problem. So one of the ways that I gauged whether we were successful as a group was not in accomplishment. It was more in language, demeanor, communication, and culture. So what do I mean by language and messaging? If I went around to any one of the members of our team and I asked, what are we doing in relation to enhancing teaching and learning through technology? They would be able to give me a similar answer. And I say similar and not the same because I think the same answer is wrong. If everybody says the same thing, then they're indoctrinated. I don't want that. We want creative people that are taking this common vision and making it their own. But if they understand the key points, when we talked, we used 3 keywords: support, enhance, develop. If I went around to them and I asked them, what are we doing? And they were able to articulate, support, enhance, develop, and they understood that that was our central ethos, then I felt excellent. But then we took it forward. If I could then say to them, within your scope of being an IT technician or an educational technology coach or a librarian or anything. How do you use that? What do you do with it? How do you make it work? And every single one of them could show me an action where they were doing that. So that was step one, having that common vision, that common language that everybody understood. That was a key element of the team that I'm very proud of. The next element was this ability to communicate with one another that I found just amazing. So as you work internationally, what you find is that the cultural diversity comes with a lot of communication norms that don't align. Western approaches to communication are varied, often seen as very blunt. How do you bridge that gap? How do you have an honest, passionate discussion? What I have found in the schools that I've worked in an international space is that that can become a huge, huge problem. And we had that in my team. What we were able to accomplish was not this mutual understanding and respect of other people's cultures and their cultural norms around communication. We didn't do that. We found a place of comfort with what I like to call dynamic tension. We did not have confrontations in our discussions, but they're conflicts. They are conflicts based on passion, based on the desire to do best for the school and for myself and for my organization. What came out of that, where we had a great team, is that those discussions around what is the proper tool for educational technology integration in secondary was one that was met with listening and talking. People were passionate. They defended what they wanted to do, but they came to the table listening to other people. And you know that you have a good team, especially an educational technology team, when people can come in, say things, listen, and then change what they're saying based on what the other person was talking about. We have that in our team. And we have that across the board. Beyond that, what I have found just amazing is that people pushed me. As an educational technology leader, as an education leader, what I hope is that people understand my authority within a specific position, but my desire to have them be engaged and involved in overall improvement. I want people to come in and say, I don't agree with that. I think this is an alternate approach, and have that discussion. Though the ultimate authority rests with me, if people are unwilling to have those discussions, to have that ability to challenge each other, especially me, we're never going to grow. My team had that. The librarians, the EdTech coaches would often come in and say, I don't think this was a good decision. We should consider changing it. And we would have that discussion. They never felt threatened, and they always felt empowered to have that discussion and grow. So how does this translate specifically to educational technology? In order to make educational technology work within a school, the leadership has to encourage a good team. Technologies come and go. Our ability to interact with students changes as the students change, but the people, the ethos, the vision of a school will not change. And while that sounds very important and is great to write on a wall, unless you can take that vision, give it to your employees, give it to your team members, and let it flourish from them, you're never going to be effective. And what I can say is, despite all of the other work I've done and all of the work I've planned to do, I did that. I saw that in action. I saw a group of people working together on the same bus moving forward, pushing back and forth, having their voices heard, making progress, making actionable, measurable results, and tying that all back to this continuous improvement that we're looking for. Once you have that model, then you can focus on the technology. Then you can take that wonderfully fertile soil and drop in Google Drive or iPads or whatever the fad is. I don't know what it is. You drop that into a fertile team and you will have discussions about impact on teaching and learning. You will have realistic discussions about the infrastructure needs in order to support those programs. You will have discussions about planning and strategy and vision and marketing these materials. And you'll have it in such a way where you can draw upon the expertise of your team members while understanding that that expertise is already framed within what you're looking to accomplish as an organization or as a team. If you have never worked on these teams, if you've never been able to put together one of these teams, I suggest you go out and do some research. Visit other schools. Ask them what they see as their greatest accomplishment in terms of the people in their schools, not in the standardized test score results or their matriculation numbers or their admissions numbers or graduation rates. What have the people been able to do within their schools? Do they find pride in it? And what are they doing going forward? Thank you very much.